Hey everybody, Tanya from Shooting Star SVG back, and today I want to talk to y'all about different ways to find trending products to create digital products from. So if this is your first time here, go ahead and click on like and subscribe below, as that does keep me motivated to continue making these videos so that way you can grow your business and change your life. And if you haven't already, head on over to the Facebook group where we are creating a community of like-minded individuals looking to grow their semi-passive income with digital downloads. I asked the other day in the Facebook group, like, what do y'all want to see? Somebody had posted, how in the world do I find trending products? Now, I've done some videos on this, and there's always an ebb and flow. But the thing about it, too, is that it's always changing, right? And it really depends on how much time you have, what you're looking to do, and like how you want to do it. So a lot of the times I will utilize, eRank. I will utilize Google Trends, although that can be kind of hit or miss sometimes. And I'll just utilize Google searches in general. Social media is a big place to go. Basically, in this video, what I'm going to do is go through some of the different ways that I utilize tools to find trends, because it could be helpful for you. Again, it's going to be different for everybody. The thing about it is you want to jump on a trend before it becomes a trend, right? I know that's like super hard to do, but you have to be a little bit creative as far as what's going on in the world, what's coming up, how are you going to set yourself apart from everybody else to get a viral product out there. And really just be creative about what you're doing and providing to the community so that people continue to come back to you, okay? So with that being said, I'm going to jump over to my computer screen. We're going to go through some stuff. I would like for you guys to comment in the video below on things that, maybe work well for you, maybe don't. Things that maybe I didn't cover in here that work extremely well for you. Because the thing that we need to realize is while we are all out there in this sea of digital sellers, we are a family, we are a community, we are here to help each other, and we are here to help each other do things the right way. It is not a competition by any means. I am so happy if somebody is crushing it out there on Etsy or Design Bundles or their website and making way more than me, because I know how much time I have to put into it. I'm comfortable with where I'm at, but everybody has their own goals and what they're looking for. So the biggest thing is to just support each other, and that's exactly what we have the Facebook group for. So I'll get off my soapbox. Computer screen time. And I apologize in advance, my allergies are kicking me in the butt. So I'm a little raspy today. But I'm on eRank right now. I was using Marmalade for a long time because they have the forecasting data. It's just price point wise, I wasn't using it enough to say, okay, I'm going to keep paying for this month on month, right? But the eRank Pro is $9.99, and so I can justify a $10 a month cost for finding trends that is, just kind of equally as good. So I'm on eRank. Usually what I'll do, depending on what I'm starting off with, right? So let's just say, lately I've been designing a lot of tumbler wraps for sublimation. So I'll start very broad. And I'll type in tumbler wrap, okay? And I'll hit enter. And eRank is going to do its thing. So while eRank is doing that, we'll come back to eRank. Etsy is a good place to start, okay? So you can start on Etsy, and again, we're going to just stick with the theme of tumbler wrap. And what I like to do to start is I'll type in tumbler wrap, and I'll just do the alphabet. So I'll do A. And then I'll look and see what's coming up. And these are some of the more popular items that are coming up for that day, right? So you have to keep in mind that the Etsy search bar is constantly changing, so it doesn't hurt to go through this exercise. But I might be like, oh, okay, tumbler wrap American flag. Like, let's see what that's all about. I'll go down and I'll click on that. And I'll see what the competition looks like. And it's about 4,000. So it's not super high, but, a lot of these look pretty similar in nature to one another. I might design something that's a little bit different than what's currently out there, okay? So then I'd go back up and I delete that. And I go type in B. And you can see bundle is a big thing. Backgrounds, beach, baseball, Braves, background bundle. Some of this stuff is trademark copyright, like Bengals and Braves. Maybe just click on tumbler wrap bride. Click on that. And you can see that the result is 1,194. So not a ridiculously high competition. And there's all sorts of different styles here. So if you had something that was very eclectic, you could definitely get that up on here. and make a good seller out of it. But basically, you're just going to go through, and you're just going to kind of go through the entire alphabet, and you're going to see if anything kind of pops up that is on the search but might not have a lot of volume. So CNA, that only has 768 results, right? So you could definitely create something for that aesthetic and get up there pretty quickly because that's not a very big search result. Now, with this, we don't know what the search volume is, so it could be a very low search volume. But the thing is there are items out there, and people will be searching for it. So if you can target that area, then you're in good shape. So, you would just go through, and you would see if there's anything that really sticks out to you. And a lot of these are going to have the higher competition. So it's hard. So it's really, this is a process, okay? But it's a process that you can easily go through and check out every now and again just to see if it gives you any inspiration or new ideas, right? So you can go ahead and do that. Like, we'll go ahead and click on Mardi Gras. Mardi Gras only has 1,800 results, so it's really not that bad, okay? So you can utilize Etsy to your advantage. As you go through, you can click on some of these designs that are best sellers, right? So this is a bestseller design. You could click on this, and you can actually go to this person's shop, and you can see if there's anything in here that is really selling well. So I see a lot of trademark copyright issues on this particular shop. So it's definitely not something that you want to go towards. Like the Scooby-Doo is that's not going to work. Grey's Anatomy. But you can kind of look at this here, like how many people have it in their cart. And you can utilize it as inspiration. Do not copy their design, whatever, design by design. That's not what I'm saying at all. You can gain inspiration by saying, oh, okay, well, there's a lot of people that have this particular design in their cart, which means they're searching for that on Etsy. And so I can design something in that theme, but not like that, if that makes any sense. Okay, if you have any questions about that, just ask me. But that's a way to do it. You start with this, and you see ones that are best sellers, and you click on it. And then you go to the shop and you see if there's anything in their shop. Now, if they have a sale or something else going on, obviously that's not going to work. Sometimes you can click and you can see what their sales are. But for the most part, the people that are selling a lot will hide that. This is another bestseller. You can go ahead and click on this person here, and they have their sales hidden. But you can kind of see how many people have things in their cart and what's selling, and things that may be beneficial to target, okay? So just keep that in mind when you're going through Etsy. You can dive deeper into the Etsy rabbit hole to kind of find these things. And when you find something that's interesting to you to design towards, write that down. And then you can check metrics on eRank if you like. But you can also just check by typing in the Etsy search bar and seeing how many results pop up, okay? And I am going to save eRank for last because that is a process. But another thing you can do is go on these print-on-demand websites, like Redbubble. And you can go to their t-shirts and you can look at their best-selling t-shirts, right? So best-selling t-shirts, and you can break it down by category. Like, let's just say I click on occupations, and these are best-selling. And you can kind of see, like, what kind of sales are there. So engineer is actually, this is crazy. Engineering is one. So let's just go on Etsy real quick. And I'll leave this Etsy window open. Let's just type in engineering SVG. It only has 1,200 results, which is crazy. You can hear there's one of my designs right here. It's not very many. So if you scroll down, there's a lot of stuff in here about Stream and STEM, Steam. Here's another one of my designs as well that are up on the top, because there's not a lot of engineering designs. So honestly, this would be a good thing to target if it's something that you like to do. I personally like science, nerdy kind of things. So you would kind of take these things and see occupational wise like what these are looking at. So firefighter might be one. And that's interesting. Dumpster diving SVG. Let me see if there's dumpster diving SVG. This is really weird. I don't know like who would want a shirt like this, but 284 results, and it's just the dumpster on dumpster fire. You know, with the I'm fine, it's fine, everything's fine kind of in the background, especially because 2020 was such a dumpster fire. And some of this is just diving in general. But listen, you know, you never know. You create a dumpster diving SVG, it's going to be the #1 seller because nobody has anything like that, right? nurse, you got, again, engineering on here, teacher, firefighter, crime, tech support, it looks like. So even let's just type that in. This is the process, right? It's a pain in the ass. Tech support, SVG. I go through 736 results. What? That's definitely something you could target, right? So I would write that down. And the thing is while it might not have a ton of search volume, there are people out there searching for it. And if you're up there on the front page, they're more prone to purchase from you. And then that will help boost the rest of your shop, okay? So you can utilize sites like Redbubble, Zulily, any type of print-on-demand place where you can buy Zazzle, all these kinds of things, and look at some of their best sellers, and that will help. So even if I backed out and I clicked on games, you know, there might be some stuff. A lot of this stuff is copyright infringement, so you just want to be careful with that. But board games is like a big thing. And, you know, introvert SVG. Let's see what comes up on that. Introvert SVG. It's a little bit more. 4,292 results. I think a lot of people, you know, antisocial will target that. But it looks like they're all pretty similar. So you could create some stuff that is related to that. But again, it's just a little bit of that process. And you want to have like a notebook or an Excel spreadsheet. Because generally what I'll do is once I find something I want to design against, I'll create anywhere between 5 to 10 designs. I'll sell single files, and then I'll bundle all those files up into a bundle. And that will be my designing for the week. Okay? So you can also go to places like Creative Market, and you can go to their graphics. You can see what's trending. So you could go to graphics. You could go browse popular graphics. And it's going to pop up with all these different types of graphics that are popular on the particular website. So you can see, again, we've been talking about this for a while. Retro is kind of coming back. Retro, vintage, 90s, things like that. So you can create Tumblr templates or SVG designs that are geared towards those particular designs, right? And then, of course, you have Pinterest. And I don't know why Pinterest is being so slow. Let me try to give it a refresh. You can see all these things that are on my page. But you can search Pinterest. Trending shirts, okay? You can click on that. And you can kind of see, just by clicking on trending shirts, what's coming up. So again, a lot of this vintage, 90s inspired items. So that just kind of goes into the, you know, trendy shirt designs. You can keep drilling down and kind of see what different types of stuff is popping up on Pinterest. So again, it's a process. You see something you like, add to your list. Do a little Etsy search. See what's popping up, okay? And you can kind of just scroll through and do this. And then the same thing with Facebook. So I'm part of a lot of these Cricut and Silhouette for Beginners groups. A lot of these groups that are out there are people actually using their machines. So the best thing that you can do for yourself is get into the Facebook groups or the socials, join groups that have people who are utilizing their machines, because a lot of the times these people are creating physical products to sell. And when they're creating physical products to sell, they're trying to make money. They want stuff that's trending. They want stuff that people are going to buy. And these groups have a lot. So generally what I'll do is I'll scroll through, but I'll click on this look at the media, and I'll kind of just scroll down at the pictures and see the kind of things that they're posting. And a lot of stuff is like holiday-centric, things of that nature. But, you know, a lot of it is just the typical, like, swirly, twirly kind of stuff, too. Different types of earrings, again, holiday-centric stuff. Different things about bundles for sale. Bibs. Anything baby is always, like, really popular as well. Teachers, things like that. But you want to make sure that you're cornering some market, okay? So those are kind of some of the ways that I do it with, like, the websites, all right? eRank, here we are. We have our search for Tumblr wrap completed, okay? Now, I'm in the Keyword Explorer. This is what Etsy buyers are searching for, what times of year keywords are popular, and related keywords that buyers use to find on Etsy. I'm not using the keyword tool because that's going to show me related tags. So if you come down here, you can see related searches. It's a lot of data. You can see I could continue to just scroll. I don't want to do that. So there's two different ways that I like to sort this data. The first thing is the click-through rate. So what I like to do is, I'm sorry, that was the wrong column, is the click-through rate. So I like to see what the average click-through rate is. And I'll start at the top. I'll work my way down on the click-through rate. and I will see what the competition is. I find it interesting that Tumbler Wrap Bundle only has a 2,000 competition. I know it's more than that. Yeah, 35,000. And a lot of these are trademark copyright concerns with the Tumbler bundles. So Starbucks, all these drinks, all these things. Do not sell those. Do not fall into that trap. You will get dinged. Your whole life will be ruined. Okay? Mom Tumbler Wrap. You can see this little search trend bar here, and we're going to go over to that in a second. But you basically will scroll down. You want to see something that has low competition, a high click-through rate, and somewhat good of searches. So I just kind of scroll down and see if there's anything out there that like sticks out to me. Nurse Tumbler Wrap is one, but I know that there's definitely going to be more than that out there. And kind of just scroll down and see what you can find. All right. American Flag Tumbler Wrap has a 100% click-through rate, but at 1,319 competition. We know there's more than that because we just looked at it. So let's scroll up. American Flag Tumbler Wrap. 4,797 results. Okay, so a little bit skewed here. If you hover over this, is how much competition you can expect with this keyword on Etsy search results page. I don't necessarily go by this. I always double check in Etsy because generally more than what any of these tools say. Okay, so just keep that in mind. And you just kind of want to go scroll through these. You can see there's a lot of ones that have 100% click-through rate. This one is WD-40. That's a trademark thing, so you can't really go towards that. And then you just want to continue to look and see what is out there and what you can kind of target. All right. So the next thing that I like to do when I'm going through click-through rate is I will go and I will sort it by search trend. So I'm going to make it so that this bar here at the end is recent searches. Okay. So it's important to pay attention to the search trend. Okay. If you see something that has sort of an incline or starting to come up on that search trend graph bar, you definitely either want to try to get on that bandwagon as soon as you can, or be able to try to discern if it has already passed or not, okay? So again, the WD-40 Tumbler Wrap, a lot of people have been looking for this, but it is a trademark thing, and I've seen it in the Facebook group, so I will not even touch that, okay? If you want to go ahead and design it for somebody for a gift, knock yourself out, but do not sell it as a physical product, okay? Elsa Tumbler Wrap, again, that's an issue. Carhartt, 49ers, why is it showing so low? Let me just type this in. Which Tumbler Wrap. Now, this is very Halloween-y, but whatever. 1,905 results. Wow, okay. So maybe it's not Halloween-y. Look, I can clearly see that you are full of shit. Okay, so this is kind of funny. It's a bunch of elements and a crystal ball, and it's, you know, kind of witchy. So there's some stuff out there, but it's not a lot of results. 1,905 is not a lot. You definitely get on that, okay? And it had 2,506 searches. So you're just going to kind of keep scrolling down to look at these search trends. Yellowstone Tumbler Wrap. Obviously, that's been on the up and up. That's that show on whatever it is. I don't know. I haven't gotten into it. A lot of these things that you're seeing with the high search trends are going to be trademark and copyright. I keep seeing Milky Way, so let's just see what this is all about. I don't know if they're talking about the candy bar or what, but that's all I think about. Milky Way Tumbler Wrap. Alright, so maybe it's just these Milky Way designs that are just really flurry, but it's only 1,700 results. You could definitely target something like that. And then you want to just see if there's anything that has like this mountain search trend, which I'm not seeing that anywhere. It looks like all these things are like kind of meh. So let's just say you found an idea that you'd like. You want to drill down on that. Okay, so you're just going to go back up. I'm just going to type in video game, Tumbler Wrap. Now, this is one that I saw earlier. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a freebie here if you're... It's on my list. Video game Tumbler Wrap. 1,129 results, and a lot of the stuff on here is, in fact, trademark and copyright. So if you can design something for a gamer that is a Tumbler Wrap, you are getting ahead of the curve. Okay? Yeah. So definitely consider checking something like that out. But when I type that in, there's not a lot of stuff here, and then it's going to give me a bunch of generalized related searches. Go ahead and change that click-through rate like we did before. And you can see that some of these have these mountains. The snow globe tumblers is what you do with the Starbucks cups. I learned that the other day. So a lot of this just doesn't have anything related to what we're trying to do. Just keep that in mind. My phone's ringing for work, so hold on. This is Tanya. Okay, sorry about that. So again, it's kind of a process that you gotta have to go through to see if there's anything that you can drill down on. But again, the video game Tumblr wrap, you know, you can see that it doesn't really have a ton of results. And there's a few others out there, like, let's just say another one that was on my list is gardening Tumblr wrap. And if you come up here, you can kind of see. There's only 833 results, right? Okay. So the other thing that you can utilize on eRank is the trend buzz. If you go check out the trend buzz, it will give you trends over time. Okay. And you can kind of click and see what kind of products people are searching for. You can see SVG is number 2 on the list. So a lot of people do go to Etsy for looking at these types of things. And they are changing the trending tabs on eRank currently. So you can kind of see what this looks like, right? And then you can also use their monthly trends and go and break it down by categories, okay? So if you were to click on like craft supplies and tools, which is where I post a lot of my stuff, you can see what's on up and up for the previous month, okay? And they release these monthly. So you can see that like do-it-yourself is on the rise. You look at these trend graphs and you can see kind of what's on the rise. You can kind of tell if something's starting to kick up or not, all right? Valentine's Day SVG, you can see those ebbs and flows when those usually pip up, okay? And again, you can just see these trends for different things. So I guess what I'm getting at is it's not a one-size-fits-all. Not a lot of, you know, it really depends on how much time you have and what you're looking to do. So generally what I'll do is I will do a trend search maybe once every couple of weeks, write down a bunch of ideas, design towards those ideas until I'm exhausted, and then restart the process, okay? So if you have any questions about what I just went through, or you have any other avenues for determining trends, feel free to post those down below in the comments box. If you don't want them public, you can head over to the Facebook group and we can talk about it there. And as always, if you got something out of this video, please go ahead and click on like and subscribe below, as that does keep me motivated to continue making these videos, so that way you can grow your business and change your life. And if you need anything at all, don't hesitate to reach out. Shooting Star SVG, signing out.